What's going on, everybody? This is Urzio99, and we're going to do the first LifeNet missions here in Clinton Farm. Before we do that, we'll cover a little bit of the toys I got. When I finished the tutorial, I got kits, and lots of them, as you can see. These are for the various trade skills that are a part of the game. Now, trade skills in Fallen Earth are a little different as those in other games because they're statistic based. You can see I have 30 AP to spend amongst attributes, skills, and mutations. Now the skills, as you can see here, the mutations and the trade skills all derive their maximum from a percentage of attributes. As you can see here, all the trade skills require intelligence and perception. 75% intelligence plus 25% perception equals the maximum your trade skill can increase. That's why people who invest in those two attributes tend to be crafters. That's also why crafters tend to favor ranged weaponry, because the ranged skills, rifle, as you can see, is 50% perception, as is pistol. So crafters tend to be either riflemen or pistoliers to some point. Now, the advancing a skill or a mutation costs 1 AP. Advancing an attribute costs 5. So you want to be very careful about where you put your AP, especially in the beginning. This character is not going to have anything to do with crafting, so I'm not going to be putting a lot of AP in intelligence. It will, however, be more pistol oriented. So we have different skills and abilities here. Have armor use, which improves resistance values while wearing armor. Dirty tricks, which gives you additional stamina based abilities. Dodge, which increases ranged and melee defense. Escape artist, which gets you a few evasion abilities and makes you harder to detect on the mini-map in PvP situations. First aid, which gives you first aid related skills like improvements on staunch wound. Group tactics, which provides aura type abilities. Melee, which obviously affects your ability with melee weapons. Pistol, which affects pistols. Power, which increases damage that you inflict with different weapons by going against the enemy's armor. Precision increases the chance to get a critical hit with those weapons. Rifle, which includes long barrel shotguns, crossbows. The pistol skill covers, of course, pistols, SMGs, and sawed-off lever action or breach action shotguns that you can get later in the game. Social affects your ability to get lower prices with merchants. The more skill points in social you have, the lower prices you pay at the vendors. It also provides different special abilities that you can train. I'm going to go, for now we'll go 10 points. I'm just going to do those 3 for now. Okay, now we did get some training versions of these abilities, so I'll cover these in here. The alpha mutation is available to all clones. As you can see, it's always 200% of your willpower, so to increase it, you just have to increase your willpower. All mutations require a little bit of willpower, and the stat itself will increase the maximums. I believe it also helps with gamma regeneration. Intelligence does too. I don't use a whole lot of mutations on my primary character because he's craft heavy. But you have empathic, which is healing, enhancements, which is resistances, illumination, which allows you to transfigure gamma and stamina, nanomanipulation, which is healing with nanotechnology, pathotransmissions, which allows you to debilitate enemies and injure them with disease, primal, which increases health and allows you to become enraged, sonic influence, which is a damaging type mutation chain, suppression allows you to reduce the gamma and stamina of others, this is a move physical objects within your mind to damage and weaken enemies at a distance, and thermal control, alter people's body temperature, engage in a little spontaneous human combustion. So we're gonna go ahead and grab some of these various abilities. Let's see, calibration. I don't have a lot of experience with mutations. Most of my characters don't. My characters don't use mutations. So I'm just looking at these. Interesting. So we're just gonna line up here. I have disrupt 1. Every clone has it. It should be in your bar by default. If it's not, it's here in the mutations list. Let's get started.
Okay, listen up.
Okay. Now that we got some experience, I can illustrate the experience bar. The outer ring is the overall to level. There are 10 bubbles. The inner ring is your experience on the current bubble. As you can see, it went about 25% through. When this fills, you will get 3 AP. When this goes all the way around, you gain a level. Every other level, your base attributes go up, all of them. So you don't always have to invest AP to get better in some areas. So
we're all counting on you.
Here we go. Disrupt attack on one of the nearby blade dancers. And it tells you how to drag and drop and do the whole. I don't know why I'm swagging. It's supposed to sprint, but he's not doing it. I gotta love it. I'm just gonna waltz out there like I own this motherfucker. What's up, bitch? I'm immortal. As you can see, I've also got one blue chip. Which is 100 chips. That's not too bad. Thud. Oh, look, it's Clinton Farm. Here, come here. Complete. Holy crap. I gave a lot of AP. Fall down. Go boom. Now you saw that I used the Sonic Influence. It did 24 damage, which is pretty baller. And they're chasing somebody. Shit must have got too real for them. As many of these guys keep popping up, you think they got a LifeNet facility nearby too. God damn. As you can see, now some abilities reserve stamina of Gamma like that one did. It's not a bad, probably not a bad trade-off for someone who's not heavy into mutations, but I want to be able to play with these things, so that's a bit much for me. I gotta find out why I'm not sprinting like I should be. Oh, that's why. That would be why. I'll just have to. That's more like it. That's my Fraps hotkey, that's why it was. That's why I had to change it.
Good talking to you.
Okay. We need to gather some copper to make ammunition for my gun. Crafting is, well, pretty much a must in this game. You're gonna have to do it. So yeah, might as well get used to it. The main difference being that basic crafting is usually not too hard to attain in lower levels. But if you want to do the really smexy stuff, that's not going to happen without a bit of help. Or a significant investment in AP. There's supposed to be copper around here, but it looks like these other players are taking it all. Press M here and open up my map. Okay. Where's the... Okay, where's the node? Oh, jeez. Don't you just hate it when that happens? Oh, looks like there's a copper node there. Guess I'll just have to wait for the nodes to spawn. Ooh, one scrap copper. As you can see, they're pretty packed in right now. These aren't exactly respawning very quickly. Two. And stay dead. Yeesh. As you can see, the little reticles are in red. That means he's out of effective range. There we go. Unicorn Whiz Beer. It's a hell of a name for your beer, but okay. Yay! Alright, now they want me to make cheap ammunition. So I'm gonna retreat to the safety of the LifeNet bunker. Oh. You want some? Anyway, now that we're back in the LifeNet facility, we'll cover crafting. Crafting is pretty easy. As you can see, I was given the book, Flatmaster's Pistol Schematics. Right click and hit use. So you have acquired knowledge, Flatmaster pistols. Press L. The only thing I know is this ballistics book, so I don't have the rest of them here represented. Just open the little spray, cheap ammunition, create. Notice the times. I don't have, now there's the regular time if you're just standing somewhere doing jack all, and there's the time if you're standing in a ballistics workshop. I get a little bit of a time bonus because I'm a subscriber still. So I get a little bit of a speed boost. If I was in a workshop, it would go even faster. But they don't have a workshop around here, and I'll have to go into town, and yeah. So now most of your, as you can see here, I only have 11 points in the skill. I can make another Flatmaster 3000. Just highlight over. See, 1 point more of damage. It's like not really worth making. You can make invest a little skills and get a Flatmaster Warrior. Somewhat better, not quite. As you can see, it says the weight. Of course, the weight matters, as you can see here. There's the reload time, the DPS, the delay. The longer the delay, the longer your time between shots. So, damage, factor, and delay, that's your DPS. Your maximum range and your attack skill. If your attack skill is less than what's listed, you will not do 100% damage. If you have no attack skill, you will literally do 1 damage. Oh, and they changed that. My rifleman character had a set of pistols on his back that he carried in his legs in case things went south. Emptied a magazine into a guy. They all did 1 damage apiece because he had no points in pistol. So always important to remember that. Okay. We have more ammo. Yay. And I got more AP. You get lots of AP in these missions, which is good. Okay. Now we're going to get an old nag horse, some horse feed, and a basic veterinary kit.
Take a moment and listen.
Okay. Close that. They want me to go find a coordinator and kill him. So we're going to do that. And I'll cover mounts. Mounts in Fallen Earth vary pretty wildly. You start out with this little nag horse that we're going to get, all the way up to full-blown, like purebred cavalry horses, ATVs, motorcycles, dune buggies, and eventually cars. So what we're going to do, we're going to find a nice clean spot to work in, right click, and hit use, and alakazam, we have an old nag. You can feed the horse, which we don't need to. It has health and stamina is basically its fuel. You can heal the horse, but as long as it's not completely dead, it'll regenerate over time. Unlike cars, you can press info. There's the fuel efficiency. The higher the fuel efficiency number, the less stamina it takes per step, basically. Inventory, as you can see, it's only got 2 slots. It's not meant to really carry anything. I have a cargo dune buggy that has like 60 slots and can carry like 160 kilograms of stuff. I like it a lot. And we've got our now we're gonna see the mount took falling damage, and so did I, but he is regenerating. And we're gonna run down here. It's like, hey, you're the Blade Dancer coordinator? Greetings and salutations. I'm here to kill you. He resisted my sound, but he couldn't resist the bullets. Reload. Okay, since there are some nearby, I'm going to go ahead and cover them. You saw the mining node earlier. It looks like a rock. This is a scavenging node. It's actually a pretty valuable scavenging node that I can't get to.
This junk is hard.
Yeah, that's what he says if it's something he doesn't know how to do.
I can't scavenge that shit.
It's a box. I don't understand. My mind is blown. Other than that, you've also got vegetables. Oh, look, you again. Get out. Sit. Stay. Good boy. I'll use my benevolence. It's a self-heal. It does more healing for other people. But anyway, that's a vegetable. It's a nature node. Go back up here. So yeah, 42 AP, very nice. Pull up the trade skills. Of course, ballistics, which we covered. Armorcraft obviously makes armor. Construction builds buildings, but most people don't worry about grinding it till endgame. Cooking makes food and drinks, which are markedly better than the ones you'll get off the mobs. It's not like, say, World of Warcraft, where you just sit down and eat and drink and get your health and mana back. These actually increase stamina or health regen over time for an hour. So they're more passive in that respect. Geology is, of course, mining and things associated with mining and metalworking. Medicine creates bandages, first aid supplies. Mutagenics affects gamma and mutations. Nature is anything having to do with the natural world, harvesting dead mutant creatures, harvesting those nature nodes outside, all kinds of interesting stuff in that tree. Scavenging, well, scavenging is pretty obvious. Junk piles, random debris, sometimes boxes that apparently you can't figure out how to open. Science covers anything that's considered really technical and obscure. Some things covered in science, of course, are all vehicles, gasoline, gunpowder, let's see, grenades, acids, vitamin injections, gas masks, things of that sort. And weaponry covers all melee weapons. These skills can get pretty involved, and a lot of subsequent research is typically required. But if you're a dedicated crafter, you can make some pretty awesome stuff, which I'll probably demonstrate here in another video. Here we go. I've been chosen for your LifeNet color. 450 experience, 50 chips.
My people need
Nice.
help. I'll talk to you later.
This guy is basically a crafting guy. Talk to him and he'll give you as you can see, I got more books. See, I've got weaponry and medicine. Especially starting out, it always helps to go for bandages. I'm going to let that run. Now, you don't need to stand in one place while you're crafting, which is a good thing, but you don't get time bonuses if you don't stand near a facility. But that doesn't really matter in the low end. It's only when you start getting really complicated stuff that you gotta worry about that. I'm gonna run down the street here to this garage. Now obviously this is Fallen Earth, this is post-apocalyptic, as you can tell by the utter wreckage debris here. Talk to the mechanic. Okay, this is a garage that allows you to retrieve mounts. You can store horse-based mounts and pets at the stable manager. For the cars, you'll need to use the garage manager. They all have the fuel and feed merchant.
Okay, we can trade.
You can see, sells basic stuff. As you can see, gasoline is expensive as hell. That's why it's overall it's better if you can craft it yourself.
Here's what I got.
And we've got the horse merchant. You can upgrade to a better horse, but nature allows you to train to make your own horses. So you can use like the untrained horse and then upgrade them. I've got a improved riding horse on my main character that I use mainly for helping mobies. I'll run around with them while they're still on the horse until they get into a real vehicle. But that should just about cover the tutorial. There's one more mission down here. Dun dun. Here we go.
This life is brought to you by LifeNet.
Okay, apparently clones are regenerating in the LifeNet facility. A lot of you coming through these days. It's unusual. We've been out here, honestly. I can count on one hand the number of how many clones I had seen. Then recently clones started streaming out of here. Okay, we're in Clinton Farm.
Remember, new bodies aren't cheap.
Okay. So, yeah, these LifeNet pods are placed throughout the province. Global Tech actually bought the area around the Grand Canyon and renamed it Grand Canyon Province. You can see we are way the hell down here. All this traced in area, this is all accessible to players. We're in Sector 1 here in Clinton Farm. However, as you can see, just the first sector is really big. From Clinton Farm down through here, this whole area here, from basically Linwood Facility South is all basically a new player area. Odenville, Oilville, and the Embry Crossroads are major cities. All these other areas are minor cities. Now you will notice some PvP areas, especially here South Clinton Farm. So that's Slaughterville. This one here is called Fort Forgotten. It is open world PvP, so yeah, people can't kill you. High level players take a pretty massive debuff if you go stray into these areas. So not always something you want to do. Alright, now we're supposed to go talk to Clinton, the lady who runs this place. I'm going to head down here and cover the vault system real quick. Fallen Earth has a system for storing items, and most towns you'll encounter what's known as the sector vault. You can just right click stuff and put to vault, anything you don't want to carry. So it's always a kind of a handy thing to have. Personally, I'm going to get rid of these heavy pipes because I don't use melee. So you just want to organize all your kit. Things like tainted water, tainted meat, these are all trade skill components. Keep those. Healing drugs. At any rate, there are 4 types of vaults. The sector vault can be accessed just about anywhere there's a bank. The barter vault is a more powerful type of vault. You'll find them in major cities like Odenville, Oilville, and Embry Crossroads. You have the Banker's VIP vaults, which are only available in the sector capitals, which for this area is Embry Crossroads. Then you have the Utility Vault, which is only available in Embry Crossroads, certain conflict towns in the higher sectors, and Los Alamos. So things that are really valuable that you really want to stow away for that rainy day, put them in the Utility Vault. But for most new players, the sector vault's usually just as good. As you can see, there's 64 slots. It can be upgraded with items from the cash store or the reward store. So there are ways to make that better. I'm just going to follow the red X. Basically, this place was a fire and alpine rescue. So we get to learn how to heal people. Now the main reason to do the starter areas, these mission lines will give you bonus AP in addition to leveling. So you'll get, for example, where it says rewards 100 experience, something will say like 1 AP, X number of experience, X number of chips, and then items. So
I'll spell it out for you. Do what you have to.
we'll go ahead and finish up here. So that was the basic series of tutorials. Every city has their first set more or less like that. And then you get into the town-specific ones. Once again, I urge all new players to take the time to visit Midway, Boneclaw, Clinton Farm, head out to Mumford, Southburg, Northburg, Terrence, Depot 66, and Zanesville. Those are all starter areas. They all have good experience, pretty easy enemies, good mission lines for more AP. The AP is what will make or break your character. I'll cover the logic behind certain builds and respecking on another episode. But that should do it for now. I'm Emerging99, and I'll see you out there.